Who was he? The young pilot who destroyed the Death Star, who seemed to have ruined everything. Who was he? He must be found. He must be brought to me alive. Darth Vader needed answers, and he was determined to get them, even if it meant going behind his own master's back. However, in looking for these answers to his questions, not even the Dark Lord of the Sith expected the news he would eventually get when he heard one word that changed his perspective on everything that happened over the past near 20 years. One name: Skywalker. Following the destruction of the first Death Star, Darth Vader would lose some favor in the eyes of his master Sidious, with Sidious saying that while others such as Tarkin share the blame in the weapon's destruction, Vader is the only one still alive to suffer Sidious's anger, even describing Vader as a blunt instrument better to be wielded than to wield himself, and demoting Vader, forcing him to answer to Tag, another Imperial officer during the construction of the second Death Star. Behind his master's back, Vader would meet with Jabba the Hutt on his former self's home planet Tatooine. Jabba would even attempt to have his men kill Lord Vader, but this of course didn't go over very well, especially after Jabba called Vader a Jedi, which Vader did not appreciate to say the least. After nearly force choking the Hutt out, Vader simply said, "This is what I need." Later, while standing underneath the twin suns of Tatooine, Vader would be greeted by a man wearing green Mandalorian armor and a massive Wookiee, all black fur with a scar over his left eye. "You're the client," Boba Fett said. "And you're the best Jabba has," Vader replied. "Are you bounty hunters up to the challenge?" There was an X-Wing pilot. He knew an Obi-Wan Kenobi. He left this planet aboard a smuggling vessel called the Millennium Falcon. "I know the ship," Fett said. "Dead or alive?" "Alive," the Sith Lord said coldly. "I have need of him." Boba would begin his search in Mos Eisley, knowing the owner of the Millennium Falcon, Han Solo, and apparently Kenobi's new ally frequented there. He would interrogate and kill Rhodians, Jawas, moisture farmers, until he finally stood inside of the cantina looking for answers from the scum of the planet that frequented the establishment. However, instead of answers, he received mocking from the patrons. After dismembering and breaking the arms of one of his antagonists, Boba saw a young moisture farmer attempt to flee, only to be stopped by the ruthless Mandalorian. Boba eventually broke the boy, forcing him to reveal the history of Boba's target. Perhaps most importantly, he knew the boy's name: Luke Skywalker. Even after receiving the information, Boba shot the boy in the chest and left Mos Eisley Cantina. Afterwards, Fett went to the home of Kenobi in the Junlan Wastes, hoping Skywalker would show up. Luke would finally arrive, only to have to chase off a group of Tusken Raiders he found ransacking the place with his lightsaber. Boba blinded Luke with a flash grenade, and the two men engaged in a struggle, with Luke attempting to fight off Fett even though he was temporarily blinded. Luke would end up cut, bloodied, and even shot in his shoulder by the determined bounty hunter. Luke would give the battle his all, and suddenly a box marked "For Luke" would fly through the air and hit Fett directly in the head, forcing him into unconsciousness, allowing Luke and R2 to leave Fett and Tatooine behind. Later, Boba would be forced to confront Vader, telling him the events that transpired. "I lost him," he said. "That is most disappointing," the Dark Lord said as he stood with his back to the Mandalorian. "Did you bring me anything of value?" "Just his name," Fett replied. "Skywalker." Vader's fist clenched tight. "Annie, I'm pregnant," he heard Padme's beautiful voice tell the man he once was. "That's wonderful," he said with a smile all those years ago. Vader's closed fist shook with rage. He could envision the hooded figure of his master. "It seems in your anger, you killed her." The glass that Vader stood behind on the ship cracked and nearly shattered completely due to his anger and rage. "Skywalker," Vader said to himself, "I have a son. He will be mine. It will all be mine." Vader would of course eventually confront Luke on Cloud City, cutting off his hand and revealing the truth. "I am your father." Those words now famous. I hope you enjoyed this video about Vader's search to find out the identity of the boy who destroyed the Death Star, therefore causing him grief at the hands of his master Sidious. And I plan on making plenty more Vader videos in the future, as he is my favorite character, so be on the lookout for those, and let me know other types of videos you'd like to see very soon in the future as well. But until then, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. May the Force be with you, and I will see you very, very soon.